Hello, Scruffy fam. You're going to the gun shop. You see a Ruger American and a Mossberg Patriot. Which one do you buy? What's up, guys? Joe here from the Scruffy fam. Hey, thank you everyone who's subscribed. Hey, if you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. It doesn't cost you anything, but helps get us out to other people who may be interested in the things we talk about. I'm just a real dude going to gunsmith school, and I review lots of different firearms and take you guys to the range. So today what I want to talk about is two of the more budget-friendly rifles that I actually happen to own. Some of my most viewed videos are when I do one versus the other when it comes to rifles. And I did a video talking about how the Mossberg Patriot Predator is the best rifle under $500 for what you get. And I got a couple messages about that. Because I also did a video that said the Ruger American Hunter was my favorite rifle. And I also said the Winchester XPR was better than the Ruger American. And you guys can check out those videos and I explain why I make those statements and all of those. But today what I want to do is I want to go head to head all of the Ruger American models and all of the Mossberg Patriot models. Those are the entry-level rifles for both of those brands. And I want to talk about which one gives you the most options, the most chamberings, the most affordability, and the most reliability, okay? So first up, let's talk about the Ruger American. Now I own currently two Ruger Americans. I have owned upwards of 4, and through just different transactions, trading, gifting, I am down to 2. I have the Ruger American Standard in 243, and I have the Ruger American Ranch in 7.62x39. If you've been watching the videos at all, I just did a video of putting my Ruger American Standard in an MDT Oryx chassis, taking it to the range, getting it zeroed. I also have done plenty of videos of the Ruger American Ranch in 7.62x39. For Father's Day, my wife and I went to the range and we shot the 7.62x39. I wanted to see how she felt about it. She shot the 243 before. She shot my 308. She's shot, I think those are the only ones she shot. And so I wanted her to feel the 7.62 and see what she thought about it. After shooting that, that is now her rifle. She loves that. She loves the recoil. She likes how accurate it is. She was more accurate with it than I was, which is pretty impressive. She did a quarter MOA group at 100 yards with the Hornady black ammo. That you can't ask for anything better than that. She was extremely happy with it. So we put a Vortex Strike Eagle 3x18 optic on it, and that is going to be her hunting rig. We're also going to have my 7-year-old use that for the youth hunt. So that is really moving into the place of the entry-level rifle for my family. We also have a 243. So my Ruger Americans are my lower recoiling calibers that I have for my family members. I also gave my oldest my Ruger American Hunter in 308. He moved on from the 243 to the 308, and when he shot that, he was doing quarter-inch groups at 100 yards with the American whitetail ammo. I already knew that that's what its favorite ammo was, and it had absolutely no issue doing that. And he was staying between 3/4 and 1/4 MOA with all of those shots, his first time shooting a 308 with the Ruger American Hunter. So when I look at that, that's extremely impressive. But my Mossberg Patriot Predator I have in 6.5 PRC, and I was very curious about the PRC caliber. And when I went looking, the only thing that I could find in 6.5 PRC that was at an affordable price point when I went to look was the Mossberg Patriot Predator. So then I looked up reviews of the Mossberg Patriot, and wow, are there not good reviews. And so I was extremely hesitant. I went, you know what? Everyone's got different experiences. I saw one channel where the guys were shooting really tiny groups with the exact same rifle I was looking at in the same stock configuration. Said, you know what? For 400 bucks, let's do it. So I got it, and I started shooting it, and even on a bad day, I think I showed you guys what happens with a hot barrel. It doesn't like the match ammo, but it likes the Precision Hunter ammo, and I got a .33 group, and I've got a .19 inch group, or the smallest. We're around 1.5 MOA outside of that, but I think a lot of that has to do with the quality of the stock. When I'm shooting and I'm taking my time and getting, doing everything I should be doing, I'm staying pretty tight groups. That may be a benefit of it being a 6.5 PRC more than the rifle, but taking that into consideration, I have not shot small of a group with any other rifle I own. And that came out of the Mossberg Patriot Predator as a 0.19 inch group. That's pretty insane. But let's go ahead and look at these physically, and then I did some notes. This is like the third or fourth time I've done this video. I'm trying to keep it a shorter video. I had one that was over 40 minutes where I really nerded out. Let's try to keep it a little bit lower. So I'm going to pull out the Ruger Americans first. We're going to look at those, kind of explain a little bit what's going on with them. Then we'll look at the Mossberg Patriot Predator. I'll tell you all the lines they have. We'll talk about all their offerings of chamberings. And then I'll give you my opinion based on owning both of them, what I think is the best one. Alright, so here's my 243. You guys have seen this one. If you watch any of the videos, you can go back and look where I put the 243 in the Oryx chassis. Took it out to the range just a couple days ago, got it zeroed. It's unloaded, there's nothing in here. This is the standard version, okay? Standard means no threaded barrel, so there's no threaded barrel on this. There's not a lot of bells and whistles. This is just one of those that, I mean, you can hear, it's kind of got that zipper to it. Nothing too crazy about it, right? It came with the pick rail on the top, and just a very standard, not going to win any awards for aesthetics. I put it in the Oryx chassis because I needed a replacement for my Mossberg. I'll explain that in a little bit, but I was sent this short action for the Ruger American, and it fit the 243 just fine. And this thing shoots really well. It shoots really, really well. Holds around 1 MOA. And yeah, so this is the standard version. Nothing to write home about. Extremely affordable, around 400, 450 bucks. You get a rifle. All right, and this is the Ruger American Ranch. Now we have upgraded this a little bit. This is wearing a Sharp Brothers Heat Seeker chassis, but it came in a tan plastic stock. Nothing special. Threaded barrel, which is nice, and chamber in a 7.62 by 39. Like I said, my wife loves shooting this. She absolutely loves shooting it. The recoil is non-existent, and a lot of that has to do with this muzzle brake. Because the barrel was threaded, I was able to put a muzzle brake on there. You don't get that in the standard. So in the Ruger American Standard, you don't get a muzzle brake. Every other line of the Ruger American has a threaded barrel, except for the Standard. It's the only one that doesn't come with a threaded barrel, which is unfortunate because if you want to put a muzzle device on, you have to take it to a gunsmith to get threaded, and I will tell you that that price is around 150 bucks. Then you have to buy the muzzle device. I mean, it becomes very expensive, where if it's already threaded, that's one less expense that you have. So every other model of the Ruger American comes with a threaded barrel, except for the Standard. Alright, so I made notes. So when you look at the Ruger, Ruger Americans come in the Standard, the Predator, the Ranch, the Go Wild, the Hunter, the Compact, and their Scope Combo. They have all of the chamberings. Every major chambering is in the Ruger American line. Just depends on which type you get. If you want any of the PRCs, you have to go in the Go Wild. That is where all of the PRCs are, which are the new ones. And some of the heavier calibers are also following in that. The Ranch is kind of more their specialized, which would be more of like their tactical or truck gun types. 223s, 350s, 450s, 7.62 by 39. That's kind of that thought process. The Predator is the next step off the Standard. Comes in a mossy oak green stock, has a threaded barrel. You get all the most popular chamberings in that. The Go Wild is a Cerakote with a camo. Again, all the same chamberings. The Hunter model only comes in 2 chamberings. It comes in the 6.5 Creedmoor and the 308 Winchester. They're in a Magpul Hunter stock, and they both have thicker barrels. They have a bull barrel on them. Then you have the Compact, which is basically the youth models. They only come in 3 or 4 chamberings, which again would be your 6.5, 7mm 08, 243, and 308, I believe. And then same thing for the scope combo. They only come in a few chamberings, but all of these except for the standard have a threaded barrel. You get a lot of different options based on what you're looking for. You can find the chambering you're looking for in one of the Ruger Americans. They don't have an MOA guarantee on the Ruger Americans, but I can tell you from their track record, and you can look up Ruger American accuracy, you're going to see that most people are getting 1 MOA or less out of the Ruger Americans when they find the right ammo. I have seen some ammos and some weights that just some of my Rugers don't like, but then when you find the one that it really likes, you're probably going to be doing some same hole groups at 100 yards. It's pretty impressive. If you do everything right and your rifle does everything right, you're going to be very, very happy with what you see. I have owned upwards of 4 Ruger Americans at the same time, and honestly, when something new comes out, I look at Ruger Americans first because of their track record and my history with them. But you know what, let's look at the Mossbergs now, and let's talk about that. Okay, now this one should be no stranger to the channel. This is the Mossberg Patriot Predator in 6.5 PRC. And I wasn't sure about this when I got it. I really wasn't. And you can look at my first impressions. I was pretty skeptical. I was pretty skeptical. When you look at the camo job that they did on the stock, it's not lined up really well. It doesn't scream quality. It leaves a lot to be desired. Aesthetically, if you're looking at it for a long ways away, it looks cool, but when you get up close, you're like, oh, that's really cheap. The barreled action on this is bronze Cerakote, which is nice. I like that. You get a fluted barrel, you get a fluted bolt, and really the action now I've put over 100 rounds through this already, so I mean I've worked out some of that, but you don't get that same zip that you get on the Ruger Americans. It could have to do with it's fluted, so I mean there's that. I will say this barrel heats up really, really fast. Really fast. But it doesn't seem to affect the accuracy, because I did a video just a couple days ago and I shot a .19 inch group with this thing. It really likes the Precision Hunter ammo. It does really well. It came with the threaded barrel. The trigger on this is really nice. It breaks easier than my Ruger Americans do. I would actually say the trigger on the Mossberg is better than the trigger on the Ruger American, even with the adjustability. This thing breaks at under 3 pounds factory, so that's really, really nice. But let's put this one back in the safe and let's talk about what I found. Okay, so I went to Mossberg's website and they have the Long Range Tactical, the Patriot, the Combo, the Long Range Hunter, the Predator, the Bantam, which is their compact version, and the Patriot Night Train, which is an interesting thing. Alright, so their Long Range Tactical has an MDT chassis that they've put on it, and it is kind of like you would look at for the Hunter for the Ruger American. I think is the closest that you could put to it. They're using an MDT chassis. It's supposed to be a little bit more accurate. They're going for that tactical look, but very similar to the Hunter version of the Ruger American. The Patriot is just like the standard. So the apples there, the Patriot and the standard are about the same. The Predator is the same as the Predator and the Ranch and the Go Wild. They're all kind of rolled into that. The Combo is the same as The scope combo, the compact is the same as the Bantam. The Patriot Night Train is something a little bit different. It comes with a scope and a bipod and a different stock. I think that's trying to be like if you want to go shoot NRL or something, you don't want to buy anything else, grab this and everything's already on it. I don't know about that. It seems kind of gimmicky to me, but that is an option. Now, with all of these, you get a threaded barrel. So all of them, you get a threaded barrel, and you get all of the chamberings. And you can get all of the PRCs, all of the heavy hitters, all of them. And it's extremely comparable when you look at chamberings between the Ruger American and the Mossberg line. In the Mossberg line, you can get all of them. And prices are pretty close. I would say within $100 of each other, they're pretty close, okay? But let's talk about the thing that definitely separates the two. So before I did this, I looked to see the newest caliber that's been addressed is the 7 PRC. It was just announced in 2023. The 7 PRC, not many people are offering budget rifles for the 7 PRC. Most of the manufacturers haven't done that yet. Probably next year, the year after, you'll see more and more 7 PRC. We saw that with 6.5 PRC, with 300 PRC. We've seen that. So I'm going to guess next year you're going to see all of the major brands pumping out a 7 PRC. But Mossberg Patriot and Ruger American both have the 7 PRC. So I looked, can I buy either one of them? Is either one of them available? The Ruger American Go Wild was available, $599. Okay, that's lower than the MSRP, but $599. You get Cerakote, camo, muzzle brake is already on it, 7 PRC. Mossberg Patriot Predator with the flat dark earth and black blued, $388. There was a sale, there was a promo code, but same promo codes and sales, $599 delivered, under $400 delivered. 7 PRC of those rifles. Now if I wanted to get the bronze Cerakote version like I have for my 6.5 PRC, which aesthetically I think it looks better, $470, $600. I have two different options on the Mossberg Patriot Predator to get the 7 PRC. I have one option in the Ruger American. And it is significantly cheaper on the Mossberg Patriot compared to the Ruger American. So when it comes to chamberings and availability and affordability, I'm going to have to give the nod to Mossberg. But let's wrap this up and let's talk about comparing one-to-one and kind of see what's going on here. So let's look at the fact that the Ruger American, for the most part, you're going to hear really, really good reviews. The biggest issues I hear out of the Ruger Americans is feeding and the safety's too loud. Feeding comes from that plastic stock. If you change that out, if you get to an AICS type magazine for something, no issues whatsoever. But the plastic stock does leave something to be desired, but it works and it shoots and it's harvested tons of animals. When you hear reviews of the Mossberg Patriot and the Mossberg Patriot Predator, accuracy issues is the thing that you hear the most. And it's the only thing you hear about. Everything else gets in glaring reviews. So when you look at both of them, the thing that I would break it down to is, what is it you're personally looking for? Are you personally looking for a caliber, or are you personally looking for a brand? I care more about the caliber than I do about the brand, usually. And I'll say that usually. When I've been looking for a rifle, if I'm looking just for a generic chambering, I will look at all of my options and see, all right, who has the most affordable one? All right, what's their track record? Okay, what can I do to it afterwards? What's the aftermarket support availability? And then I'll usually go with that one. So for me personally, when I'm going to go look at purchasing another firearm, I'm going to look at, okay, who's got the most aftermarket support? What's the one that's most affordable? Let's go get that one. Well, my track record with the Mossberg Patriot Predator and 6.5 PRC is pretty good. So I honestly looked at the Mossberg Patriot Predator in 7 PRC before I looked at it in the Ruger American. And I was a little hesitant about that. I'm like, wow, am I really going to step away from the Ruger American to get another Mossberg for a 7 PRC? Or would I give the Go Wild a chance? So I don't know. I really don't know when I look at that. So I asked my wife, all right, honey, these are your options between these two. What would you choose? I showed her the pictures. And then I showed her the price tag. Pictures, she said, well, you could go with either one. They're both camo, they both look cool. I really can't tell you a difference. I agreed on that. Then I showed her the price tag. When there's almost a $200 price difference between the two, she said, oh yeah, Mossberg Patriot Predator, hands down. Affordability goes to the Mossberg Patriot Predator, hands down, affordability. Reliability, I'm going to have to go with the Ruger American. I've yet to hear of a chambering in the Ruger American that people didn't have success with. I have heard that in the Mossberg Patriot Predator. There's a couple reviews that are talking about how it's grouping 2, 3, 3.5 inches. That's not good. That's not good at all. Number of chamberings and offerings, they're tied. They both offer all kinds of different things. Aftermarket support, Ruger American. Ruger American, far and away. I can get more chassis, I can get more support. The Mossberg's catching up. The Mossberg is catching up, but right now I can get way more for the Ruger American than I can for the Mossberg Patriot. What do I see on store shelves? Ruger American. In my local gun shop, there is one Mossberg Patriot, one, in 30-06. There are 6 Ruger Americans in many more chamberings. So Ruger American wins that one. I looked at online retailers. So I looked at Palmetto, Game Prime, Midway, or Gun Prime, Midway, and Brownells. All had the Mossbergs, sold out of the Rugers. So, okay, I checked big box. Cabela's is the biggest outdoor retailer next to me. So I checked Cabela's. They've got Ruger Americans, no Mossbergs. Then I checked out Shields because they're the next one. They've got Ruger Americans and Mossbergs. So availability, I'm going to give the nod to the Ruger American. So if we do all the math up there, the Ruger American is beating out the Mossberg. So if I'm going to a gun shop and I see both of these sitting on the shelf and I have the money to buy either one, I'm probably going to go with the Ruger American. I do feel that the Ruger American overall is a better product than the Mossberg Patriot. I feel that the Ruger American has been doing it longer, and I feel that they've been doing it better longer. They haven't made a lot of innovations in what they're doing, but they're starting to catch up. I do like that the Mossberg Patriot came out and tried to do some things that other people aren't doing in your budget rifles. You're getting fluted barrels, you're getting fluted bolts, you're getting all of the new chamberings. I think that's great that they're doing that, but there's definitely some quality control issues that I'm seeing with the Mossberg Patriots that I don't see with the Rugers. So at the end of the day, guys, I would pick a Ruger American over a Mossberg Patriot Predator, but I still think a Mossberg Patriot Predator is the best rifle under $500, It's just that the Ruger American doesn't fit that anymore. You're not going to find those under $500 unless they're on sale. So guys, I hope you like this video. Let me hear what you think. Do you like the Ruger American or the Mossberg Patriot better? Let's have a conversation. Do you own both? Do you own one? What do you think of them? Let's have a conversation. Let's keep it good, and I'll see you guys next time.